Hi there, it's Bruce Wallace from Dundee and Victoria Chess Club in Bonnie, Scotland, and we've got an endgame position for you here in this video. And this position was from a game between Rudolf Austin, who had white. Now Rudolf is a veteran player, and I know him quite well, and he's an absolutely tenacious battler who never gives up, against Alistair Dawson from Dundee and Victoria Chess Club, who had black. And this game took part of the Richardson Cup competition between Dundee and Victoria Chess Club and Edinburgh Civil Service Chess Club. And Alistair had got into the position where he was a bishop and 2 pawns up against pawn and 2 rooks, and more or less considered the win in the bag here. It was just a question of time before he ground down his opponent and defeated him. But Rudolf, being the tenacious player that he was, pulled out the move rook takes bishop check, which was a bit of a surprise to Alistair. So he takes with the king, quite naturally enough, and then follows rook e5 check, and here the rook cannot be taken because of the position of white's king. White's king has no moves because the rooks box the king in, and if the king takes, it's stalemate and a draw. So after rook takes e5, king f6, we'll go through how the game actually transpired. Rudolf began a series of checks, and with every check the rook cannot be taken because of the position of white's king. King goes here, rook e5 check, king f4, another check, king e4, rook e5 check, king d3, rook e3 check, king d2, rook d3 check, king e2. Now I should just point out that Alistair was very short on time and just had a few minutes left on his clock here, and if he ran out of time he would lose the game because white would still have enough material on the board to win. So Rudolf continued checking, rook e3 check, king f1, rook e1, king g2, rook g1, king h3, rook g3, check, king h4, rook h3 check, king g4, rook g3 check, king f4, another check, king moves, another check, repetition here, more checks, and still the king can't be taken. Check, king moves, another check, check, check again, check, and now the king is in fact back to its starting square, rook e5 check, and so we've had a complete circle of moves by the king. King d6, another check, king c6, rook d6 check. Now here black offered a draw. Now it didn't affect the match, and Dundee and Victoria did win, but it's a very good example of not giving up in chess even when you're a lot of material down. But did black miss the win? There was a couple of strong players who were watching the game, and in fact it was only Colin McNabb, a grandmaster who was playing for our team, who was able to point out the win. But in fact there were several possibilities of black winning. So if we go back to the position after rook takes bishop check, king takes, then rook takes e5 check, pointing out that black can't take the rook because of stalemate. It was king f6, then black began checking, king f5, rook e5 check, king f4, rook f5 check, black played king e4. Now here, if black had played king e3, that basically wins because black's checks dry up, white's checks dry up, because now a rook can interpose. Check here, for example, and then black can take the rook. So king e3 was a winning line. If we go back again, after king e3, if rook to here, then this rook can block the check, and again black is winning easily. and is going to win. So that was one miss win. After king e4, we had rook e5. Black played rook d3, but here again, king f4, rook f5, then king e3 again, and we have the same scenario, and the rook can block. So that was a win. So just a matter of one move could have won the game there for black. But let's move on, because after rook e5 check, black moved to king d3, which allowed another series of checks. King d2, rook d3 check, and now king e2. However, here also, king c1, then rook d1 check, king c2, rook c1, king d3, rook c3 check, king e4, rook e3, king f4, and now rook e4, and rook can just take, because now the king has the escape square on b3. So that was another winning line. So if we go back to rook d3 check, king e2, rook e3, king f1, rook e1, king g2, rook g1, then black played king h3. Again, another missed win. Instead of going to h3, if the king went to f3, after rook g3 check, king e4, rook g4, we now have rook f4, and it's also a win for black. So the mistakes by white there weren't using the possibility of activating the rooks on this file, for example, or allowing the other rook to come along to this position. So this key square f4, where both rooks intersected, was where black could have found the win. But I think it's an interesting position, which shows that one move can make a difference, even when there are masses of material difference on the board. And well done Rudolf Austin there in managing to pull a draw out of an absolutely lost position. But with the pressure of time, of only a few minutes on his clock, Alistair couldn't concentrate correctly in order to pull out the win. And Alistair's called this game now the Richardson horror, after failing to win a position a whole piece and 2 pawns up. But better luck next time, Alistair. I hope you found this video interesting, and see you soon on YouTube.